Hey there, Silver Tongue Devil here, and in this live stream, we're going to try and conquer Fletcher. There's some good scores up here, but we should be able to get in this sort of region, or at the very least, die trying. So we're going to be doing this in my particular idiom tonight. Focus on the word idiot. So, for those of you who saw us in the last stream, things went kind of well. We are playing the Fletcher sigil. I'm actually not as far as I thought. We're only in cycle 4. Things are going to start getting difficult next cycle. This cycle should be, well, not a breeze. Why did I press that? Ugh. All the faff. Right, let's just go in there. Let's just go in there. Let's just go in there and get it done. So, the way that I play, this is Fletcher. So this is one of the sigils within the game of In Death Unchained. The rules are you get a randomly assigned arrow to you. Every miss damages you. And that's it. There's no shops. There's limited health pickups. So, let's see how we go. What we are going to do is we are going to just be killing orphans, just be raiding pits, and just going for the high yield and high priority targets. Those being orphans. Oh, no more up here. We are at full health at the moment, which is a good thing. And we need to check, because there can be a pit here. Pits are the only thing that we are going to have to do properly. The rest of the game, we are not going to play properly. I'll get headshots where I can, but that's not where I want to be making my points on this mode. The other thing that I'm doing at the moment as well, you may see, because I said I'm just going after high priority targets and clearing the pits. What I'm doing at the moment is cycling my arrows. So I'm trying to find easy kills, or rather easy shots. Note how I'm going for the guys that are isolated up on the top here, going for these easy shots to try and get arrows of this ilk. Why? Here's why. And this element of the way that I play Fletcher becomes more and more important the further through the cycles that you get. What we are attempting to do here is one-shot orphans. So we'll go back to, well, the pit's actually going to be ahead of us. Now, we can hear an orphan. We're going to teleport right in close next to her and headshot. And the reason being is you'll see that volley 5 there, full draw. Let's get out and explain what I just did there. Full draw to the head that close. All 5 arrows go directly into the face. Does huge amounts of damage. That's what we're trying to do here. Because misses damage us, we want to limit the misses as much as possible. We do that in one of 2 ways. Killing just orphans. I shouldn't. It's a good question, Ray, but I shouldn't. And yes, very good with the old heart rate and Hannibal Lecter references there. Echoing. So, no, I don't. The thing is, if you're going to do this method of just killing the orphans, just going in the pits, just doing those things, then you need to make sure that you are visiting every pit and killing every orphan. Otherwise, you just won't score very well. The Fletcher mode gets incredibly difficult on Anakin. He is the big challenge, and the pit, these pits and Anakin are the big challenge. Now, it's only cycle 4 only, so what I want to make sure I am doing, let's go and step in. We've actually got a decent arrow for it as well. I can't hear an orphan, which is good or bad. And what we want to do, using a combination of slow time, i.e. quiver select, this arrow is also another good one for an orphan annihilation, or an orphan, yeah, destroying them. Because even if you were to miss, it wouldn't actually damage you, because there's a couple of arrows that you can get that don't, Divine Sight being one of them. Now then, I can't hear an orphan. And this looks like, what are we dealing with here? We're dealing with knights, and skeleton archers. Right, okay, let's see. Let's take you out first. Not so great. The other thing that I will say as well is I am not that worried about getting headshots on everything. What I am concerning myself with at the moment is not taking damage, and doing that by not missing. Because a lot of the time, as you just saw there, going for the headshots is usually the best way to miss. Now, we do have to clear this entire pit out, so we might as well make a start, or at least we need to clear out the vast majority of it before we're actually allowed to exit. So we've taken one thing, but we're not getting hit by enemies. The damage that we're doing to ourselves, which is preferable. Because if you're taking hits, that will go against us later. That's a good kill. Little things like that are why you take your time on the shots, because enemies have a nasty tendency of kind of tweaking their heads out of the way at the last bloody minute, and it's really annoying. Right, this is a decent arrow. We've got somewhere to retreat back to that is reasonably safe. What I want to do now, because we are here for the orphan, is locate said little blighter, kill her. Oh dear. I think I know where she is. Interesting. Where are you? Well, that's not great. Let's see what we can do here a second. Let's continue clearing. Now, what I think's happened there is the orphan hasn't actually spawned in because there was just too many enemies around. So, in this sort of circumstance, we are going to have to at least start killing some enemies to free up space. When I say free up space, I am of course referring to the rule of 17. In that you can only get 17 enemies on screen at any one time. Ooh, some free headshots there. These guys are a little bit of an exception to that rule, providing you are, you know, happy with hitting your shots. They're quite a big target, and you do get headshot for that, but the one thing that I find is, as Jay always says, as Beanie says, aim small, miss small. Well, it's not so much about aiming in this mode, it's about them moving and you missing. So you make the shot, or make these shots, as easy as possible for yourself. But we've done this a little bit of a different way than I would normally do on these early cycles. We've kind of cleared a safe area for us. Now, this is actually really good form, in my opinion. This is really good technique to do what I'm doing here and make a safe space so that you've got somewhere to retreat back to. This'll hold you in good stead as a kind of staple pit tactic at the best of times. Come on. Ooh. Good. Now, the other thing that I always try to make an emphasis of is quite how much I am making use of slow time. If I'm in combat, engaged, or got things around me, I am pretty much always in slow time in this game. Because if you can press a button and it gives you infinite slow time, why wouldn't you press that button all the time? Or at least, those are my thoughts on it. We'll clear this little... So we've come into another area. We're going to clear this little area. And then we'll have another zip through the level. See what we can pick up. Get back. Thank you. Another thing to note as well with ghosts, this works in the main game as well, is as you are hitting them in the body, not in their weak spot, they do flinch. Now, there's a couple of arrows that you can pick up that are no good against ghosts, or not very good against ghosts. Are you going to die from that? Yeah, you will. Good. There are a couple of arrows that are no good against ghosts, namely cupids, because they don't have a target to explode on, they don't have a target to lock on, and they also don't cause flinches. So if you start getting given Cupid's wraths when ghosts are up close, it can turn into a bit of a disaster, if I'm honest. Now, it is that and slow time. Don't forget about the slow time. So let's see. Let's have another little sprint. We'll draw these ones over here. Push past all of this. See if we can find that orphan. Oh, there she is. Right at the back. Now, this is where the problems begin, because I haven't got an arrow that's capable of assassinating her. However, we'll make do. She has been poisoned, which is actually within our interest, because she cannot, even if she got far enough away from me, she can't actually teleport away when she's in a altered state, shall we say. Now that that went catastrophically wrong, let's retreat back. And the further we retreat back into this safe space that we've carved out, away from everything that we just alerted, the more of it will despawn, and the less will now come in and try and do us over. However, you little prick. I'm not too worried at the moment, because we've actually done quite well so far. I hate this game. That's what Cupid's wraths have a nasty tendency to do when you have a lot of ghosts coming in at you. Again, with the slow time, massive amounts of it. A hand of God would have been great there, but no, alas no. So that's pulled quite a chunk of enemies out of the level, and they're more difficult to deal with in this mode, i.e. ghosts. Ghosts are not easy. Now at this stage, mission complete. We've killed the orphan. Now we just want to get out of here. And the other thing that we want to grab, whilst we're getting out of here, are the health. There will be 2 of them, which means that we're going to be able to get back up to a guaranteed maximum of life, which is a result from this pit, let me tell you that for nothing. But let's see if we can take some of these tougher enemies out. I think I just heard a skeleton behind me. Yes, I did. And I think we can sit here. I don't think anything can get us, and this isn't a bad place to hit ghosts from. So just see how much I am putting the world into slow time. When I'm not firing, I am in slow time. And I'm firing my shots reasonably fast and then immediately going back onto slow time. And the reason being is, well, why wouldn't you? But the other thing is we're done. Because we've killed between 88 and 92% of the pit's denizens, we're allowed to leave. Yes, that is leaving points on the table. No, I am not interested because I want to be going into the boss with full health. The only other thing that I am tempted to do for this Anakim is cycle to a reasonably decent arrow. We'd be better off doing it in here, actually. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. That'll do. And what I look for, because again, we're literally just cycle skipping at this point now. We're just going through the motions, through the level, quickly as possible. God, has it been that long? It has. And going straight for the boss. Now, the arrow that I select when you start getting to the higher cycles, I want something that is A, going to do some damage, and B, do the work for me. There's been plenty of times when I've been sat there and I've missed that shot with a single arrow. Yes, Anakim is a huge target. Yes, you can miss that. So why not try and cycle through your special arrows to get something homing? Because you can't miss then. Also, even if I did miss with these, because they are Cupid's Wrath or Divine Sight, I wouldn't actually lose any damage, and that's the important part. Oh, I picked up both health. Interesting. Anyway, so we're going to wait for him to turn. As soon as he turns, launch those off. That'll do him some damage, and we'll spawn these guys. Should just be the two. We're going to have to try and play this reasonably properly. Ugh, holy light. Ugh. We're going to sit in this corner. We're going to lure him over here. We're going to try and not alert the knights, but that might not be our choice in a minute. We can try and get rid of this holy light as quickly as possible as well. If you could come a bit closer, that'd be great, pal. This isn't ideal. I hate holy light. 2! Yeah, why not? Okay, and we move. Now, normally, this is where I would sit, but I want to do a little bit more to Anakim before I start sitting and shooting enemies. So we'll try and lure him over to here. Without hitting him, hopefully. And without alerting the knights. And then we're going to try and cross back over to this side for the intense purposes of... why you holy like me, bro? I want to try and get another trigger. Oh, that'll do it. Of archers. Before we continue... That was a miss, actually. That you didn't hit me. I'm impressed. Right. On for you. That's going to alert the knight, definitely. Damn. But these things happen. And then that's all. So what what I'm attempting to do here is kill all of the monks here. And the reason being is for what we're going to try and do next, which is we're now going to sit here and wail on Anakim. And the reason being, we do it from here, is because you can hear enemies spawning behind me now, or at least you should be able to. and they are not going to be able to shoot at me. And the reason being is because they are out of my line of sight. The worst that they can do is teleport in front of me, and it's why we use this pillar. To be fair, I was a little bit too far forward there. I hug this pillar so that if any knights come at me, or abominations from over there, they actually have to come round the pillar to attack you before they can attack you. Or if they come round behind, well, you need to listen out for that. What you need to do when you are fighting him in this direction is do not, regardless of what you hear behind you, do not be tempted to look behind you. Basically, the monks are kind of like Schrodinger's monks, in that they both exist and don't exist at the same time when you are not looking at them. They spawn in, but they don't actually do anything when they spawn in, are behind you and out of your line of sight. They will occasionally teleport into your line of sight, and because you're looking this way and putting loads of nasty effects around Anakin, more often than not, if they do, and they usually only teleport in one at a time, they'll come in and they'll just get absolutely obliterated by all of the effects that are going on. So that was reasonably textbook, and he went down quite quickly as well, which was nice, when we didn't get a particularly great arrows to actually deal with, and we didn't get anything particularly massive on the damage dealing. A Hand of God would have been very nice there, but obviously it didn't come. So right, and that's all you have to do. All you have to do, go in the pits, kill the orphan. Go to where the orphan is located on the level, kill the orphan. Do that in whatever way is best for you. The further and further we get into this, and the more risky it becomes, the more you'll see me going for the orphan first and then going for the pit second. On Purgatory, anyhow. Right. Altered states indeed. So, as I said, when I first started looking at Fletcher, I really like this mode a lot. And the reason being is because we've got use, or rather we have to use, all those really cool special arrows that, as somebody who's played this game way too much over the years, doesn't use anymore because they're not part of the meta. They're not part of the long game. Unfortunately, when you're scoring, you don't... well, in the categories that I can get into, you're not really playing this game for fun. You're playing this game to get as far as you can. Now, I know that's going to sound weird to anybody who is like a new start on this game, but it is the way of it. There is fun to be had through getting up the leaderboards. But what we're basically going to do here is rooftop hop through here as quickly as possible. And the reason being is because, as far as Paradise Lost is concerned, I know exactly where, well, not exactly, but I know where the orphan is going to spawn. Now, we can hear her, and the orphan will always, in Paradise Lost, like in Purgatory, she'll always spawn in the third section. In Paradise Lost, she will always spawn in the second section. Now, we just have to go through the motions of going by her spawns and finding her. Again, playing this mode, you will very quickly learn, within the different configurations, where the orphans are. You will also learn where the pits are in the various different configurations. Doing this enough, you'll learn it all. This is also a great way... Oh, hello. Hello? Now, look, not enough damage. Oh, was that not a hit? Not enough damage to outright kill. Now, that wasn't the ideal arrow. This one isn't too bad. Now we just got to get out of here. Huh! Let's go back to the start. No? Okay. Fine. Let's go straight up. No? There we go. Note how as well, you probably can't see it, but I am continually tapping slow time whilst my arrow is in travel. You'll see as I start playing later on, I will keep my bounds shorter, because the longer you are waiting for that teleport arrow to travel and land, the more likely it is that you will be hit by various things that you are alerting as you are moving quickly. But as long as we can get to hear everything behind us despawns, so it's all good. How do we do on that one? Couple of blocks of life lost. Happy days. We're going to get 3 chances to heal here. And I say chances because we could be getting some double heals. So we'll definitely get back up to maximum life, providing I don't take any damage on Gabriel. Now, Gabriel is a very, very easy boss when you know how he works. You get close, he goes away. Get far away, he comes to you. You want to push him off, knowing that you want to push him off of this side of the level and then wait for him to dive down at you. In the normal mode, hitting him from here is a good idea because you don't get damaged. That's not that difficult a shot. I am not risking a Winter's Bite shot on him at that distance and even missing him. And also note, I'm going for centre of mass-ish as opposed to headshots. The reason being is I don't want to miss. Right. A very important note as well. Winter's Bite is already in him and doing tick damage. We do not want to hit him with another Winter's Bite whilst that Winter's Bite is doing tick damage. It will reset the amount of ticks he has to take damage, but it will also lower the amount of damage that he is taking. Now that it's finished, now I'll hit him with another one, and that'll do another 8 or 9 ticks of 400 odd bits of health. Now you'll also see as well, I am using this pillar, placing it within my vision, and that allows me to basically manipulate Gabriel to where I want him. If I look the other side before he stops moving, with this pillar obscuring half my vision, you can basically get him doing this like Captain America. He'll do this all day. So that we can fire at him. We'll Winter's Bite you in a sec when you get back. Again, centre of mass. That one fire up with the hope of trying to hit him in the head. Wait for the 3 shots. Ideally, at some point, we'll get a Hand of God bubble, and then we can like trap him in place. I always, when he fires his fireballs, go to the opposite side and put my shield up because I've been hit too many times by stray fireballs from the wrong side. Now I'm doing this quite quickly as well. Just to try and get through things fast, because I'd like to put up a decent score tonight. That didn't need to be risky. Ooh. Oh, it didn't kill him. Oh, look. Well, there's the Hand of God. What great timing. Prick. Right, so. Gabriel down. Nice and easy. And, of course, we get a double. If anyone needs any Blood of the Lambs, let me know. For their run. I'm sure everybody needs them. And then this is the... Hello, Radius. If you need Blood of the Lamb as well, might help you with your latest Into the Radius run, you never know. The Blood of Lambs, because religious overtones, I would imagine. Bodies and bloods and sacrificials and all sorts of stuff. Don't know. I always imagine that from the lore we're some kind of evil demonette that feasts on the blood of baby lambs. So, I mean, I don't know how you were playing in Death Unchained, but we're the bad guy. Don't pay any attention to the story that they put in the game recently. No, we're the bad guy. So, as far as the Abyss is concerned, the Orphan, the 2 things that we're after here, the Orphan and the Pit. The Orphan in the Abyss can spawn in either Section 1 or Section 2. So we do want to be cycling our arrows. Even that's a risky shot. We want to be cycling our arrows and looking for the Orphan by visiting her various spawning locations. There's one down there. She can spawn at the bottom here. I don't think in this building she can spawn in it, but in this configuration I don't think she can here. We've also got a pit to check, so we might as well do that first. The pit can be down here, and what I like to do, not dead then, what I like to do is get to here, have a peek, yep, pit, get right up in this corner and wait for the nasties to come round. And they will. There's still a lot of knights up the top that we alerted. They still need to come down. Oh, maybe they're not coming then. Okay, fine. Must have missed them. Now, there's some... We could get a bit lucky here and get some decent arrows for kind of entering here. We need to be careful, although that makes things a bit easier. That also makes things a bit easier. Hello, Sean. Good effort, mate. How the devil are we? Ooh, where's he? Where is he? I can't see him. There he is. Muzzle flash! You gotta... This is one of the reasons why I like the darker lighting, ow. I like the darker lighting of In Death. Because guys like that, if you're not at the correct angle, you can't even bloody see. It's brilliant. I love it. And get him finished up. So we need to secure this little area, because teleporting in from here is not a great idea. I do find it is easier. And we've got plenty of life, so we should be good. Now, hopefully this is the Pit of Despair. Stupid game. Now, the reason I've always said agony, as in the Pit of Agony, equals awesome. Now, that is just for the main game. I suppose... No, not mortal. Despair's still preferable. The reason why agony equals awesome in the main game is because you don't need to worry too much about your points. You'll get a decent amount here. Mainly, you don't need to worry too much about the Orphan. What you want is the increased resources, the extra drops that you get from the extra summoners that are in this part. What we're here for, get in, kill the Orphan, leave just as quickly. And the Orphan locations in this map are just harder. She's just harder to get. Right? And move and shoot. You're dead and go. That Hand of God was useful. So, Orphan assassinated. And now we're going to come back up here and wait for the fallout. And we're going to do that whilst we have a drink, using copious amounts of slow time. So even though, so this is part and parcel of the whole using slow time even when things are not about, especially if you've alerted them. Because I definitely know there's some enemies about, and they're probably going to come teleporting in. There's one. And that's the reason why I say, see how this guy moved out, and then we'll settle into posture and then try and kill us. He's actually had to do that because the pathing in this game, as far as corners are concerned, is fucking terrible. And we can take advantage of it. You just have to step back from the corner a little bit, and job's a good one. Look at these lovely effects doing my job for me. Brilliant. Well, I didn't get that one. Not so brilliant. Oh, that did. Lovely effects. We can even do what I was just talking about there as far as pathing, like here. Look how the corner that he's come round, I'm quite a ways away from. And he'll come round, settle into stance, and then attack. As opposed to just launching himself at me, which is what knights usually do. Nice and easy, cheesy exploits. Right. Thankfully, the orphan placement... Where are you? I hear you. I can't see you. Must be in one of the ones below. Thankfully, that orphan placement is probably one of the best ones that you can get for the Pit of Agony. It's why I don't like having to do the Pit of Agony, because the orphan placement when she's down there is fucking horrible. Absolutely horrible. Now, I do want to alert these guys. I don't want to shoot down there because, A, I don't want to run the risk of missing and costing myself life. And if they teleport close to me, they're much easier shots. Now, with this arrow... because it's got some homing on it. Happy days. Did you take the explosion with you? Yes, you did. Good man. Good man. Now we can delve a little deeper. Let's get you. Lovely. Basically what we're doing here is killing everything until the incubi at the back there is activated, because the incubi in both the Pit of Agony and the Pit of Despair are basically statues until you've killed enough enemies. They are then the guardian to the exit. Once you kill them, we can leave. So now that he's been alerted and throwing fireballs and doing his laughing and doing his bits and pieces, if we come back here, eventually, he will teleport. Eventually. Although, again, keep an eye on your slow time. And in typical fashion when I'm streaming, like, if I wasn't streaming, he would have teleported in already. So I do actually have a technique for getting them to teleport in instantly. I'm vaping. I'm going to have a vape now. Right now. Right now. And then I'm going to have a drink of water. I'm also having to sort my chat out. See? See? So predictable. So predictable. They always try and get you when you're not paying attention. Again, if you can get close and you can get headshots on those, do it. But that's not the reason why we're killing him. The reason why we're killing him is so that we can escape. Now, bear with, because in time-honoured fashion, with the faffing that we had at the beginning of the stream, my phone's decided to switch off. Fantastic. Of course, it's my phone that does the old speech chat thing. There we go. Right, sorry if I missed anybody. I'll be... Hang on. Let's just go and have a quick check. Yeah, apologies. Wasn't being rude. Let's have a look. What was said last? Cool. I'm all up to date, I think. Yeah, looks like it. Right, and is that reconnected? Yes, it has. I have no idea why my phone does this. Every now and again, when I'm using text to speech, it just resets. The phone just, I don't know why. No idea why. Anyway, right. Done. Done. Right, so. Done all that. Now, the last thing. Life. Exactly. If you say it out loud, Incubi, I'm going to drink. Now, Cupids do it as well. But, like, saying it out loud is just tempting fate. Actually doing it and not saying is when they will 100% guaranteed come in on you. Every single time. Right, so, now we've got a couple of options. We want to get to that portal. The moment our teleport arrow hits that portal, we can leave. I don't care about the points that we're leaving on the board in the pit. I want out of here. We're done. We've got our prize. It's time to leave. We got our health, got the orphan. We want to go. Two ways that we can actually do it. One riskier than the other, I think. We could go down that right, stay heavy to the right, and then hit the portal. The way that I usually like, and it is kind of dependent on what arrows you get, is killing this summoner. They're actually pretty good arrows. Killing that summoner, finishing up his minions, waiting for the hex to disappear before you start making your move, and then it's literally 2 teleport arrows and you're out. And if you want to kill those guys on the way out, you can. But again, these are all extra shots that you're taking with a chance of missing. And the whole reason why we're playing things the way that we're playing it is to cut down on those misses by firing as fewer shots as possible, basically. I will fire that off because it doesn't matter. So that's pit done. That's orphan done. And so, we leave. And the other thing as well, for anybody who's new here or anyone who's, like, you know, just started playing IDU, this is not the way to play the main game. This is a specific sigil. It's basically a kind of mutator or an additional way to play the game. Absolutely fantastic idea that Super Bright had. I wish they'd capitalized on it. I feel like we should have like multiple. Hell, I thought we got. My memory is fucking terrible. I thought we'd already got the orphan. Ah, well. Let's get her again. Didn't we already get the... No, I don't think we did. My memory is absolutely shocking. Really is. But we all knew that. So, anyway, right, so that's the orphan dead in the actual level. And then we've got the orphan in the pit. So now we leave. Oh, yeah. Well, old. Don't know about shit. Yeah, we're getting old and shit. Yeah, I get you. Cool. No, just memory issues. It's part of the lore of the channel at this point. How badly... Hey, Dame. No, I mean... Yes, there was a time when there could be 2 orphans in Abyss. They could either spawn at Section 1 or Section 2. You are quite right. There was the possibility of both spawning. There also was the possibility of none spawning. They actually corrected that. I was just thinking then, oh, hang on a second. Maybe, because that was corrected. That was a bug that they corrected. And I was just thinking, oh, hang on a second. Maybe it's gone, maybe it's reverted back to when they've updated a previous build. So, we haven't killed Asmodus yet, but there isn't very much points in him. But what we've done so far, if you haven't seen the previous stream, we've gone 4 cycles, we've killed every orphan in every level, despite my memory issues, every orphan in every pit, left the pits as soon as possible, and that should be getting you in the region of 280 to 300,000 points per cycle. Now, normally that's a garbage score, and you should be well, not garbage score, but it's not an optimal score because we're not killing everything. Normally, in normal cycle play in the main game, every cycle you go up, you should be doing... Thank you, Von. You should be doing more and more points per cycle because enemies take more and more headshots. Now, that isn't entirely true of this mode because a lot of the special arrows that you are doing is doing a lot of additional damage to enemies, and so, you know, you can't get as many headshots out of them because you're killing them faster with all these nasty arrows. So if you can go through the first 4 cycles of the game and kill every orphan in every iteration, well, you can get yourself 9th on quite a, I mean, I'd say prestigious leaderboard. There are some very good players here. There's Mr. Fishnets, look, and there's Arby as well. Who else do I know there? I mean, shout if you see your name up there, obviously. Give you the kudos. But we've done 4 cycles, done everything that I've done, just killing orphans, so nothing particularly complicated. It does take a bit of practice to do, but you'll benefit from it because you'll learn spawn locations and of orphans and pit locations and so on and so forth. And we've managed to get into the top 10. Now, again, I do keep saying, I don't think this way of doing it, if your slow time is on point, and if you follow my kind of step-by-steps that I have outlined in a few live streams now, this should be achievable, and one of the reasons why this works is because this is a bloody hard mode when you try and play it properly, i.e. killing everything basically without missing shots. It's bloody difficult. Really difficult. I can do it, but I can't bring myself to do it because I find the mode too fun to play this way. So, I also find this mode quite exhilarating, and on top of it as well, this has taken this. I'll finish tonight, and this will have taken us 2 live streams, so 5 hours. And so, because it's so fast paced, and you're going through the game, and you're feeling like you're accomplishing something, the runs are kind of throwaway, and also the bar is very low in Fletcher, because again, as I said, it's a bloody hard mode. Now, as far as Asmodus and random arrows, there are arrows that we want for specific sections of him. We will cycle through our arrows using him. That's not a bad one. That's what we want, Cataclysm ×3. Now, I don't want to be individually shooting his boils with various special arrows and that fucking up and costing me. I want to pop them all at once. One big blister boily thing, and we do that with something explosive. So that's destroyed most of his blisters and spawned all of his skulls, and as soon as they get near me, I move. Cheers, Cohen. Yeah, man, you need to get Dungeons of Eternity. I think you'd really like that if you haven't got it. You should definitely be having a look at it and coming and playing with me. We'll take that last one out. And again, part and parcel of the reason why I'm not taking shots at these guys, they could explode. I could miss those shots. That causes life loss. So again, I am doing everything that I can to mitigate the number of shots that I am taking and keeping it down to absolute minimum. Oh, that's a good arrow. Sneak back. Yeah, nice one. Divine Sight, you fucking prick. Gotta hate Divine Sight as an arrow, really, sometimes. That's great. We go here. Kill those. We get behind here. These tactics are what I would normally use in the main game. They work. Ah! Oh! See? See what I mean? This is why you keep your shots down to an absolute bloody minimum. Because of dickheads like this. It's the other thing with this mode as well, is things are going great until things are going very badly. So, and yeah, no worries. If you've only just started the tutorial, you're a ways away off of this. But one of the things that I would say... Awesome, dude. Nice one. Cheers, dude. Sounds good. So, let's let those explode, see if he moves. The one thing that I would say about this mode is it is actually incredibly good for unlocking certain achievements. Doing it this way is incredibly good, as you can probably appreciate, for killing orphans, so many in a run and so many in total. But it's also a great way to get kills for all of those really obscure arrows that need upgrading. And although it does say within the sigils that Fletcher does not count towards achievement progress, it bloody does. Tell you it does. Now, again, we're going to cycle our arrows here. This time, we don't want Cataclysm. We want something homing. Anything homing, and a multiplayer variety would be nice. No, 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 no. Come on. There we go. Cupid's Wrath. As soon as he forms his Hadoken skull, fire it. What should happen is one will pop it, and then the other two will just fly off into the fucking background, because Cupid's Wrath isn't really a homing arrow, is it? Fucking inconsistencies of homing arrows in this game are really stupid. What should have happened there is those two Cupid's arrows should have gone fucking yes and destroyed old Asmodus's dorsal flange. However, they decided to just fuck off, which is great. Anyway, this is actually a little bit of a glitch that you're witnessing. He should have done his throw maneuver and then switched sides. Instead, he's gone to the same side. We can actually take advantage of this, because if we do get some homing arrows, we can fire them high and kill his other dorsal flange. What he should have done is thrown some rocks at us, which we dodge out of the way of. Hello, Ken. I know, right? Can't hear it on my voice at all. What we should have done there, or what he should have done, is thrown some rocks that we dodge out of the way of, and then he lines up a lines up a Hadoken skull on the other side, and then we go from there. Right, let's see if we can do this reasonably clean. Good. These are all good arrows. That did hit. Hopefully that'll blow him up. Should do. I want him facing towards me. Are you going to blow up? Yes, you are. I want him facing towards me, because as I hit him, I want him going backwards. We do want to try and kill this guy, and we want to make sure that none of the things that we're hitting him with are in effect. I'm going to take anything else out, because we just want to kill that guy. Let's move away. So, for anyone who's got to the third stage of Asmodus, this is, I would say, the best technique to employ on him is just kill the archer, nothing else. If you do that, all of his minions that normally spawn in increasingly more difficult waves won't do. We're going to have to do something a little bit different here. You're going to teleport. That's good. That's better. Better placement. Thanks very much. And let's get away so that they don't get blown up. Cool. And then ideally, what we want is more homing arrows to do the job for us. Anytime. Anytime. No. There we go. Now, because I looked away, most of those homing arrows probably didn't hit. We need to lure these guys away. Again, note how we're finishing him up in his final form, and we haven't had those other waves, those other nastier waves spawn in. And the reason being is because we haven't killed many of the enemies here. You have to kill so many, the archer and then a couple of the abominations, before the next wave spawns. Also, it stops the all-important horrible wave of 4 cupids spawning infinitely. And that should be all he wrote. There we go. Lovely. Can do some arrow cycling here. He still counts as a valid target if we can get a decent arrow for an orphan assassination. But I think when you travel from realm to realm, I think it resets your arrow. Let's test that. We're on Cataclysm 3. Couple of blocks of health back for us. Lovely. Again, not particularly efficient, but we're not here for efficiency on life. The way that I look at it is we are leaving a lot of points on the table as far as just killing the orphans and nothing else. This isn't how you would play the main game, as I keep stressing. Oh, Cataclysm 3, I did keep the same one. The whole principle of this, though, is it may not be efficient to be leaving levels at maximum health having not picked up health, because, you know, we could try a little bit harder in the level knowing that when we get to the end we've got those additional heals. But I've learned myself through playing this technique many times that you let those little slips happen, and you remember how I said you can be doing well and then be dead just as quickly, or be doing well and it goes really badly just as quickly. Well, it's true. So I stick to my guns on it and I play this a very specific way, and that's what will allow me to probably put a score that will put me in the top 3. Possibly. We'll see. We have the ever annoying problem of Anakim coming up. I'm just cycling arrows at the moment. Divine Sight ×3 doesn't quite cut it. If you could hit that guy, that'd be great. Thanks very much. Nope. Nope. Can't just put that into the floor. Excuse me! Pit? No pit. This is why even arrow cycling can be a bit of a pain, because, you know, that was a reasonably simple shot, and I still missed it. Cataclysm ×5 might cut it. Let's get to the end of here. This isn't an ideal place. I suppose I'm showing you by bad example. This isn't an ideal place to do your arrow cycling, because it's actually quite a tough little area. Wildfire ×5. That'll do us. And note how I'm not even going to bother taking that guy on. I'm out. I'm gone. I have left. This shot is not meant for you. We'll keep an eye out as to where the pit is on our way. There it is. Like, it's the tops of those landings that we should have been using to cycle our arrows, because it's usually only 1 or 2 enemies, and on these landings where you can basically control the factors whilst you are trying to get the arrow that you want. Because there's not very many enemies, you can kind of leave on demand. Now, for our next trick, we're going to find the orphan. There's 2 locations that she can be in. Is it 2 locations? Yeah, there's 2 locations that she can be in. One of them is here. Oh, hello. Good evening. That's not cutting it anymore. And leave. And if needs be as well, when you are escaping, go all the way around the houses. As you are going past all of these enemies, yes, you're alerting them, but you're also despawning others as you are coming back into clumps of enemies. And that's the mainstay of it. And I would imagine barely anything will head towards us now, because So this is the beauty of going deep into the level and rooftop hopping without alerting anything getting there. Is all of those enemies that would have given it the fonz and wanted to try and teleport onto us and stove our shit in with arrows, they're all left fonzing as they despawn because we come back here and all of these enemies are now within our sphere of influence. So they basically cause all of those enemies that we just alerted to phase out. And the brilliance of that as well is when enemies phase out or despawn and respawn and what have you, they then go back to a neutral state. So they'll all go back to, like these guys. They shouldn't be here. They teleported here trying to catch me, you idiots. Look how well that got you. So we'll finish these two up just because they're in the way. And reasonably easy kills. What would be a good arrow to start a pit regardless? I don't really think there is. I mean, Hand of God is always a good one, but I would specifically arrow cycle for orphans because that one-shot headshot or near as damn it is very important. You want to be in and out. However, as far as pits are concerned, we have to embrace the suck. We have to be there for a little while. So here's the other thing. Here's my other IDU party icebreaker. Read that as miscellaneous and usually useless knowledge. Where you teleport into a pit from is where you will exit when you leave. Do we want to go down there and clear all that entire area? No, we don't. We want to go into the pit and not have to kill anything around it. So we teleport in from as far away as possible. And then when we leave, we might have alerted things there, but most of them won't have spawned in because we've teleported in from far away. And then when we leave, we won't be pursued by anything. There won't be anything after us. Now, this is going to be a tough orphan. However, we've got a reasonably decent arrow for it, so I may go for her first. Oh, look at this! It isn't even a real pit. It's got no archers in it. Fucking happy days. Right, let's find that orphan quick then. Because without skeleton archers or monk archers, I mean, I'm not saying there's no threat, but obviously archers are a pain in the arse. There she is, look. Hello. 1. Fire that off. And 2. Fire that into the shield. And she's dead, and we leave. Ooh, not to you. Now, I would normally say run back to a safe spot. However, there aren't very many, and thankfully, because it's only skeleton warriors and knights, there's not a massive amount of threat here. But do bear in mind, we alerted a massive amount of enemies, and they may, most of them, despawned. And now that's better than an actual hit. I don't want to be taking hits at this point because we are at double damage. Don't mind misses, occasionally, but I don't want to be taking hits. Reason being is because, as I say, hits are double damage at this point, and we don't like double damage. Oh, come on, that's right in! It's all the way in! There we go. Again, copious amounts of slow time here. I thought we hadn't killed you. I don't know where you went. You, like, proper went to the Shadow Realm for a minute there, didn't you, love? Right, that needs to go over there. We need to deal with this one. Ugh. Hate those. That's good. Aiming your divine sight times even ones, put times threes and times fives very high above an incubi's head is a good way to get headshots on them. A, 3 points if it happens. B, kills them quickly. We want both of those, so it's worthwhile doing. Although it is very far away from an exact science, let me tell you. Right, those lightnings should finish him off. Always be aware when you are playing Fletcher of all of the effects that you have in play. Not being aware of them will get you killed. Like, I know there's explosive arrows in him. They are going to pop and potentially push him, which is why I will wait for that to happen before I fire another arrow. Hear all those juicy headshots? It's all extra points. We're not going for them specifically. I'm kind of going for them because it's a quick kill, but extra points and a quick kill? I can't say no. Cannot say no. Alright, let's deal with this ghost, seeing as she's love and death. And now it's a case of slowly but surely whittling down the numbers in as safe a manner as possible. Again, I'm probably being faster than I need to be here. I'm actually quite happy with our life situation. I will be going down to snail's pace on these pits the further we get, because the further we get, the harder it becomes, because we can take huge amounts of damage very quickly because of the old cycle damage multipliers, which we'll explain all about when we get there. Hey, got him. Lovely. Double kill. Oh. Do note as well, in this mode, if you hit a shield with any arrow, that is fine. It still, for some reason, counts as a hit. I'm glad it does. But you will not lose life from hitting an enemy's shield. You can use that to cycle arrows as well, which is another tactic. But again, cycling arrows on shields, there's a small target potentially, and so you could miss, and it kind of defeats the object. So look how I'm waiting for the explosive arrows that I know are in him to explode before I shoot again, because see that dip of his, that movement, those cause misses all day. Nice and high. Got the headshots. Lovely. That hit a skeleton who'll teleport in, and then we'll kill him in a minute. Lovely. Now these guys are both firing fireballs at me, laughing away and doing their thing. They are an enemy that, regardless of how long you leave them, will never lose their aggravated state. They'll only lose their aggro, i.e. wanting to engage you. Ooh. Do have to be kind of close to get these headshots though, but I'll try it. There. Rubbish. Oh, what? Hiya, fellas! Silly, really, but I did say I was trying to be speedier. If it is, like, if you're practicing this technique, or you haven't played this way before, don't do this. You don't need to. I'm doing it just to speed things up so that I can get to the latter stages. Hey! Oh, I still got hit. Shit. But again, doesn't matter. We're not doing well. We're doing worse than we were on life. Okay, maybe now I'll start slowing down. Stop dicking about. So again, remember as well, we are just here to kill enough to leave. That's it. We'll let the lightning bolts do the rest of the damage there. Don't want to risk firing at him and him dying, because that'll result in a miss, and then that's more life loss. No thank you. Where are the rest of the enemies? Even things as simple as them turning can be the difference, very often, of you hitting or missing. And it's really bloody annoying. Right, there's a lot of lightning bolts there. So let's just body those guys. Hand of God him, and then the lightning balls will just leave them to do the rest of the job for us. And the poison, because we don't, again, want to fire a shot which then goes through the corpse of the enemy. I'm going to have to kill this guy. Now, he's got explosives in him, so we wait for them to go off. Get a bit closer. Wait for him to turn a little bit, and we'll go for that headshot. Ideally, as well, you won't actually have to be taking out all of the incubi, because, I mean, in this level, it's a bit difficult not to, if I'm honest. But in these levels, because we did check this, the weighting of a normal enemy with their normal health bar and an incubi is the same. They still count in the same, like, you know, if, I don't know what the exact figures are, but let's say a night counts as 1% towards, well, as you go through the cycles, it does happen, but I guarantee you I won't be that lucky. I would rather have that in the later cycles, not the early ones, so I'm not actually as lucky as you would think. So, but no, you're quite right. It doesn't, for me, it doesn't, and LG's quoted as saying that it's like, is it even a real pit if it doesn't have archers in it? And I think he's right. And if it doesn't have skeleton archers in it, because they're the bane of all IDU players' existence, or at least mine anyway. So, So yeah, we were talking about waiting, and we concluded, I mean, again, I did some testing streams, which I don't think there's anything left for us to test, but some testing streams where I had some questions that I wanted to answer, and then with the help of chat, basically getting them to count things out for me and doing stuff like that, I went away and did what I did. And we found out that it takes 88 to 92% of the enemies killed before the pit exit opens. And if we said, as I was saying previous, if we said a night within a pit counts as towards, say, probably 0.5%, but let's just say 1% of the kills within the pit towards getting that exit open, an incubi will also count as 1%. A ghost will also count as 1%. The only thing that was a little bit up in the air was to whether the abominations that spawn from skeleton archers count towards that percentage. Because then if that is the case, then technically, taking out skeleton archers first, you should be able to open the exit up sooner rather than later. Chill out, dickwad. Give me the life. We're going to have to kill you now, because I think you might get me otherwise. And then we're done here. We've got the life. We've killed the orphan. We leave. And once your teleport arrow has hit that portal, you are then invincible. I didn't want to risk it with that ghost, because she might have quite got me. And if you look here, a little sniper spot that we fired a little teleport arrow, we're back here, and nothing is alerted. Which is good, because then that means we can just fucking leave. Except you, obviously. Even you. That was a live despawn. That's what they do when they despawn. Look at that. Isn't that great? Alright, let's see if we can get a decent arrow. Tempest, no. Pestilence. No. 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 Yes. Let me try and show you what I was getting on about earlier. Ideally, if you are confident, that's a much better arrow. If you are confident at hitting your shots on Anakin, then Winter's Bite is actually the best arrow to go in for the tactics that I want to employ against him. However, I try and give myself an easier time as possible. You'll also note as well that we were 4 life down, picked up 2, and we've actually got 3 back. And the reason being is because there is an achievement that you can get for, I think it's killing so many orphans in grand total, which doing the game this way in this sigil can help with, because you can rattle through killing a lot of orphans very fast. Even if you just do it 1 cycle at a time and just die in the first cycle, you'll still rattle through orphans really fast than starting a brand new run, because you'll have lots of special arrows that are capable of taking them out very quickly, whereas in the beginning you might not have those good arrows. And we're going to head straight for him and get him done. Now, yeah, and that achievement, basically when you have it maxed out, there is a 30% chance that you will get a double heal off of a Blood of the Lamb, as opposed to a single heal. Now, here, hello T, how are we doing? God, 1k. I don't even think I can find out how many hours I've got in this. It's got to be like, I don't know. It's got to be like 5,000. I've played this way too much. What waste. Eh? Hey, I enjoyed myself, and I've got some prizes out of it too, and done alright in some competitions, and I suppose it kind of helped my YouTube channel a little bit. So there is those things. Over 9,000 indeed. Right, as soon as he turns, fire away. I fire them high in the hope that we might get headshots and do that additional damage. Fire a couple more there. Right, let's get this guy. Ooh, opportunity. Try and get another trigger on him. I'm hoping to get both of his triggers of archers in this corner straight away, that it doesn't look like he's obliging. And I want to avoid firing arrows at him at this point because I do not want to alert his knights. However, let's play it a little bit risky. Famous last words. That's going to alert the knights. They're not going to like that. Crap. Time to leave. Ow! Oh, was that his aura? Bastard! Right, we've done what we wanted to do. Perfect. We've done what we wanted to do, which was to trigger all of the archers there. Did that get him? Did he fire? Yes, he did. I'm going to kill that guy. Those. Oh, that's hit his shield good. Right, let's Hand of God, old Anakin. Tips in 30 ticks indeed. Whilst under the cosh, now we've got to leather him whilst managing the knights. Want to be going for headshots here as well. That's not a bad thing. Step back. Oh, I took another damage. Ow. This part is difficult, I'll tell you that much. Again, everything's spawning behind me, and now that the danger's over and he's reasonably close, we just want to leather him and be very careful in those last couple of hits that you don't fire one extra one, because I almost did then, that goes through his corpse. Whew. Now, the reason why I do it this way is... that wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. This is where, as I said, I will most likely die on stream tonight. If I can get past cycle 6, I'll be happy, because that'll be 81.8 million, which would be nice. Yeah, all the tips. Hey! And it's like nothing ever happened. As I said as well, though, it's Anakim and the pits that I budget this massive life bar that we actually have. And losing, I took 2 hits from his auras then, not even any misses. It is more preferable, especially at these higher cycles, to allow for and physically get misses. I mean, you never want to be missing on purpose, but there's times where it'll happen. And than it is to actually take hits from the enemy, because at cycle 6 those 2 aura shots that we took would have taken 6 damage off us, would have put us down to half health, which is never a place that you want to be in. But we got away with it, chat. We got away with it. So the reason why I do it that way is because that's the safest place that I've found to burn Anakim down, basically. And you can, for the first couple of cycles, just completely destroy him on the platform before anything can spawn. But after about cycle 3 and upwards, because your arrows are random, you can't guarantee that you'll get all of those really nasty arrows to throw that damage out on him quickly enough that the archers don't spawn and basically fuck your shit up. So that's the reason why I do it that way. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the score and see where that's put us. Oh, look, we are 8th in the world now. And oh, look, I see me a Mr. Fish. Will I ever get into boxing VR games? Well, Warriors Knowledge, it just so happens that I have been playing a stupid amount of Underdogs VR, which, although is not a boxing game, it might as well be for the amount that I've thrown out my right shoulder, let me tell you. No, I've played a fair bit of Thrill of the Fight. I haven't had any real interest in Creed, although I really do like the films and obviously the Rocky ones as well. But boxing in VR, I'm not a boxer, I'm a martial artist myself, so the upcoming Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu proper quest launch is a real big deal for me. I really like the idea of that. But Underdogs VR is definitely a game that I can get behind. I know it's not boxing, but I don't know, it bloody feels like it. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Thrill will do that for you. Thrill's work out. So, note how we fired just enough shots to get a volley times 5. And then that should facilitate the Orphan. Now, will she be in the same place, I wonder? I can't hear her, so I don't think she is. But we'll go and have a check anyway. Nope. Oh yeah, I've got if you have a look on my Discord, if you're on there, Warriors. Nope, can't hear her. Ooh. I have one of those 25% discount codes. That game at 25% off, in my opinion at the moment, is well worth it. Alright, that's you dead. Bye-bye! Hold this for me. Oh, let's go up there. Oh, it's Valentine's Day soon, isn't it? Oh, Winter's Bite isn't actually a bad first arrow to have on. Oh, nice one, dude. If you have trouble on the Discord side, yeah, I've got loads of discount codes on there for all sorts of games. But if you have problems on there, if you have a look at the Underdog stream that I did recently, in fact, that's the place to go. I've put the code in the description for Underdogs on there. But first and foremost, forget all of that and, you know, supporting the channel and using the discount code and whatnot. Watch the live stream and see what you think of it for yourself. I think it's a very good game. I've been playing that a lot off stream. And yeah, I've almost got everything unlocked. And yeah, it's maybe at the moment the only criticism that I would have with that game is it's a little bit light on the different kinds of weaponry that you can get, in my opinion. But that's something that can be easily corrected with future updates, which they are planning on doing. I also understand, for anyone who's aware of Underdogs, that there was a beta for that game, or some like beta testing for that game, and there was 2 weapons that didn't actually make the cut because they weren't finished in time. They were the buzzsaw, which is a bit weird because the buzzsaw is what the mech has in the title, and for that to not actually be in the game on launch was yeah, a bit of a strange one. But you know, these things happen. And the other one is, I believe it's a ball on a chain. Fucking great. Coming in like a fucking wrecking ball. So yeah, they both sound really good. The thing is, with just the weaponry that's in the game at the moment, and there is still quite a lot of it, with the weaponry that's in Underdogs at the moment, there is still a huge amount of variety in builds that you can make and viable strategies that you can have, and so on. But yeah, more is always better. Right, I need you this side, yeah? Cheers, mate. Oh, and on the subject of discount codes, I'll tell you guys that are here now, but I'll also post it in the Discord tomorrow. I have one of my Tips in 30 Ticks videos all about the Quest 3 headset coming out on Friday, and it's all going to be about how to get discount codes and how to find yours and share it, basically, so that you can get the store credit and how all of that works. And what I would love from you lot is if everybody could put your discount codes as comments on the video, because, you know, well, that helps you guys because you might score some free store credit out of it, and it also helps me because the video will probably get more views because of more interaction. So everyone's a winner, right, chat? And that's the kind of deal that we like. So I haven't quite decided how I'm going to do it. Rather than flood the chat with everybody's different discount codes all for the same games, I might get people to pick a game and, you know, like Von can be the one that puts the Ghostbusters... Ooh. Got ya. Von can be the one that puts the Ghostbusters, her Ghostbusters referral code up. And Indy can be the one who puts his referral code up for, I don't know, some puzzle game or something like that. Yeah, no worries, dude. Glad I can help. I might put the disc code up for Dungeons of Eternity, or I might put it up for this, actually. Haven't decided yet. So, but yeah, that one will be coming out on Friday. So, as I said, I'll post in the Discord and try and get all of you lot commenting on it. If you would, it would be most appreciated, and you'd most likely get something out of it, because it just takes one person to see your code, use it, and you've made $5 or £4. That I don't mind asking for. I'll never ask you to like, never ask you to subscribe or even drop a comment. But if there's something that I can give you guys that gets you a bit of value, well, you better believe I'm going to fucking salesman you all the way. I mean, silver-tongued devil, right? Right. Anyway, so back on with the Orphanihilation. So let's cycle our arrows. Now, because we are in heavy cycle, these orphans are taking a hell of a lot of damage. So it's now that we need to almost insist on going in for an assassination with this. Well, that is quite the question you're asking there, Mr. Popo. I would say that Dungeons of Eternity does not have the level of content of In Death Unchained in its current ilk. Bear with. You're done. It's not here. She's not there. Right, let's go down. It doesn't sound like she's in there. That's good. Bear with. I'll answer that question in a minute. Long story short, because the long story is always coming. I mean, why would you tune in if you didn't want the long story? But long story short, In Death Unchained has more content, more replayability, and more for you to do. But caveats, because there's always those. Hi, fellas. Let me see if I can... Is she in here? Doesn't sound like it. So I don't think the Orphan is in this stage. One of the things that I would always recommend as well, if you've gone through and checked where you think the pit should be and the various bits and pieces are located, always look back to see, because sometimes the pits can be on the reverse of buildings and be very difficult to see. The only place that it could be... there's a downstairs section there, isn't there? No, that's not a downstairs section. That's the only place that a pit could be that you wouldn't be able to see it visually by looking across the level. It's either on the reverse of the buildings or it's underground. But this configuration, I don't think, has any underground sections. That looks like an underground section, especially with that big rock there. And that looks like it's closed, but it's actually open and there's a summoner there. Right, let's go into the next one. Another thing as well, if you can't see the portal in there, you'll usually be able to see it in that silhouetted next section. But again, we can't see it. But that does give us more information as to its possible location. If we can't see it looking at the level, then that means one of two things. Well, actually three. It means, you fucking missed it. But hopefully you've checked, like I did, like we did, and it wasn't there. It wasn't there. 2, it's underground, or 3, it's on a face of a building that you can't see. As in, like, completely faced away from you. So, let's go and have a look and find out which one of those, hopefully, 2 possibilities it is. Is that it? No, that's not it. And it is very distinct as well. You guys might not be able to see it on stream, although you probably got more of a chance of seeing it on the Quest 3 than you ever did on the 2. There she is! That's what we want. We also need to get the Orphan, though, and we've got the arrow set up for her. I've got a funny feeling I know where she is, but let's go and check first. Yep. Of course, she's right in the belly of the beast. So this Orphan is usually quite a hard take as well. There's 2 ways that you can do her. I think this way is probably the easiest, but has the potential for messing up the highest. Although, let's show off a technique, shall we? So, this applies in the main game as well. What we're going to do, I'll explain what we're going to do, and then I'll talk about Dungeons of Eternity more. We're going to go in, we're going to dump this volley 5 in her head, I'm going to assess the situation, and if it's looking a bit dire, I'm going to run away. And the reason being is if I can get, after doing damage to the Orphan, if she gets far enough away from me, and I can get far enough away from her, she will despawn. She'll continue with the amount of damage that she had on her, and we can have a second bite of the Orphan's cherry. A second bite of the cherry on the Orphan. That's the way round, but I definitely meant it. So, let's try that. I know she's round this corner. Let's slide out. Dump that in. I'm not going to do it just because. Oh, she's run the right way, though. That's good. Ow. Thanks very much. Thanks for playing. Hello, Kieran. How are we doing? Oi. So we got the Orphan. I've run away from that situation just so that I can kind of despawn everything and stop it all being aggravated and such. And now we're going to go back because I definitely didn't forget that the pit was there. No, this was all part of the tactics. Now, getting up here, we've probably alerted some of those cupids. And what we don't, they will, or they have a nasty tendency to stay alerted even when you've gone in the pit. It seems to be a cupid only thing, or they like teleport all over you. So we're going to wait here and pick off these cupids. We're going to make sure that they can't like get any weird angles on us, and we're using our slow motion to... Gotta love talent. Fucking guidance systems on these stupid arrows. To be fair, he was the closest, but he was out of my line of sight. Anyway, I think that might be most of them. So we'll do a little bit of slow time whilst I explain on the whole Dungeons of Eternity. So, In Death Unchained, I do believe, has got more content in it than In Death Unchained. Part and parcel of that, some people might not like this next statement as well, is Dungeons of Eternity is, for all intensive purposes, a much easier game than In Death Unchained. Now, that's not to say that you can't ramp up the difficulty. You can... Hey, just bash him away with your shield, T. You'll be fine. How are you alerted? Oh, you're down there. Well, she can't get me up here. Well, she might teleport up onto here. So, content-wise, to be fair to Dungeons of Eternity, it has got a lot of content. Me and my little group, we chonked through that content very, very quickly. And it's not to say that the game isn't replayable, and there's many a laugh. We've had plenty of them in multiplayer and doing live streams multiplayer with you guys. It's been really good. But there is a considerable lack of endgame content. Now, then if you look at In Death Unchained, now this game does not have multiplayer, and it does not have the variety of even weapons. I mean, hell, there's loads of special arrows in, but most of them are fucking useless, if we're being honest with ourselves. But what this game is that Dark Souls level of hard. So if you like that, I've often referred to In Death Unchained as the Dark Souls game on the Quest. It's I must be a masochist, because it's one of the things that I do like about a game that is difficult. You get that sense of accomplishment when things aren't too easy, or when you're pulling off quite heroic feats. And let me tell you, when you first play this game, like you would Dark Souls, anything that you do you consider heroic because it's bloody hard. So, but then on top of that, when you get all the achievements and kind of power up as a on your profile, because the more achievements you unlock, the more powerful the game gets, which is a really good idea, a really good way to do a rogue. Well, this is a rogue very light, but it is a good system. When you get the game to 100%, and if you're not 100% and not planning on getting to 100%, but you want to get a high score, I really do insist that you get to 100%. There's more and more reasons to do so now, which maybe I'll talk about a little bit later on. But once you get up to 100%, that's almost when IDU, the real game, begins. And that's when you start putting in these stupidly long runs. Oh dear. Oh dear. All for the purposes of scoring points. And remember, on a content basis, this game has only got, well, 4 worlds if you include Desolation, but nobody goes to Desolation. That was like a DLC level that was added as an optional, and no one goes there because it's just harder again. And I've already explained how hard this fucking game is, so why would you make it harder again, especially if it's part of your scoring run? You go there to get achievements. That's about it. It is lovely looking, but I ain't going there, not during this stream. Let's try that arrow again, shall we? Nope, that hasn't gone. Nope, that's not it. That one is. There we go. Lovely. Teleporting in from a massive distance. Why is it Pit of Agony again? It's because I saved. I know exactly why it did that. I'll explain that in a minute as well. Anyway, long and short of it, In Death Unchained, you've got the 100%. You've got... That's when the real game begins. You've got the sigils, which I'm playing now, which are additional ways to play the game. You've also got Siege of Heaven, which is kind of like a tower defense Elven Archer or Elven Assassin or whatever that game's called style of thing. But again, all of this is only single player. That's where technically Dungeons of Eternity has got an infinite amount of content, because you can just keep on playing with different groups of mates or different groups of people. So if you have got people to play with, or you don't mind making friends, technically DOE, or Dungeons of Eternity, is an infinite amount of content. Unchained is kind of as much as you make of it yourself, and as long as you can keep grinding up against this game. What was that about, Tim? Apart from Tim Bone, yeah, but he's only a couple of % off of full. And I'll tell you now, like, so one of the reasons why I'm now kind of insisting that everybody gets to 100% is there are lots of circumstances that we're finding now where competitions arise, and your percentage of completion affects your standing or how you go into that tournament. Like, for instance, in the last tournament, there's a lot of people that didn't bother unlocking Divine Sight ×5, and because of that, they didn't have that arrow to perform in the tournament with. All the top ranking players did, because they've all got 100%. And then there is the whole, oh, well, you got 100%, you've got things that I haven't got. It's like, well, you know, go out there and fucking sort your account out, basically. I believe you me, I don't like the factor. Ooh, that'll do us. Lovely. One for you. That for you. You can have that. Ah! Ah, well, at least it was a miss. Oh, another ×5. That'll be a good kill. We need head, though. Bam! And gone. Oof. This is a great arrow to kill cupids with, and you can have that. Oh, that's good. That's worked out nice. We'll still do a bit of cornering. See what I mean about these extra shots? And how they've been my fucking bane. Ugh. What I should have done is retreated up the top to make this nice and easy. But again, we're streaming, so we do things a little bit differently from time to time. But yeah, as far as tournament time's concerned, I don't like the idea that not everybody can compete on an even keel or an even footing because of completion percentages within their profile, because it makes tournaments not quite as accessible for new players. However, the flip side of that, as one of the people that has played this game a lot, is let's face it, you ain't beating my score if you're a new player. You'll have got to have put the time into this game to be able to come close to where I can get to in a tournament. And to think that as a new player you can come in and do so is just naive. You know, it'd be like someone saying, oh yeah, well, I can beat Linford Christie in his heyday. You ever done any running before? No, I just know I could do it. Smacks of arrogance. And I've heard people saying things like that before as well. Because you've got them, that's why you can do better. Well, there is those, like, you know, 5,000 hours behind me. But, hey, what do I know? Just a simple silver-tongued devil, obviously. Right, you need to come up here. I suppose the crux of it is, without getting too far up my own arse, the crux of it is, I shouldn't be taking that shot, for starters. Good job, that was a divine sight. The crux of it is, this game does not, because of its random nature, suit competitions. I can't think of any successful games in, like, esports, competition, or any bits and pieces that have a massive random factor. I mean, PUBG's kind of there, I suppose. That's kind of got a random factor, but that game isn't really around on the competitive scene as much anymore. Right, go. Run, run, run. We've alerted what we needed to alert. Now we'll wait for it to come to us. bad angle for cornering an enemy, and I paid the price for it as well, I might add. Because I was at this angle and not here. He didn't round the corner, turn, and then face up on me. He came straight at me. That's the wrong way to corner. There's a lesson in everything, people. Hello, Al. I mean, easy headshots, right? Even now, I have to be careful, though. Right, I want those dead. Good. Now you. Hopefully that'll activate the incubi. Hello, incubi. I'm going up the top for vape and water now. It would be silly for you to follow me. It will only mean your death. Oh, there you go. Not even going to give me a chance. Look at this guy. It's almost like I'm not streaming. Usually they teleport instantly, but yeah, they don't always follow suit. Now again, I don't want him to go that way, so I'm going to wait for him to turn and face towards me before I put headshots in him, so it sends him back that way. Also note as well, those explosions did not count as headshots. Thank you, Vaughn. Fuck! All my talking, no do well, blah, blah. It's like I'm serving myself pie. I don't even need Von. But thanks for the battery check, Von. Right. Battery. Oh, for those of you who are still here as well, I have what might be my first genuine problem on the channel. Well, not a problem, but I'll put it out there, see how you guys would react to it. So, I've been given a key for a game recently, and I don't think that game is very good. Now, one of the things that I think most people either know or I've mentioned in the past is if I'm coming back to and live streaming a game, not even regularly, but if I've streamed it more than once and I'm playing it in my downtime, then that's a good game. I think the only exception that I can think of on the channel that I haven't streamed regularly is the good games is, get ready for a drink, Von, Vampire the Masquerade. That one's a great game. And I don't think I did a massive amount of streaming of... I haven't done a massive amount of streaming of that Silent Wolf VR. That's another good one as well. But as a general rule, if I've streamed something once and then not streamed it again... What the shit? Did you just... He did. He despawned. What a prick! They're phasing in and out of reality like Goku. Instant translocation, so I miss a fucking arrow. Are you serious? I'm low enough life as is. I don't need this shit. Right, anyway. God, I'm very tirade-y tonight, aren't I? More so than usual. So, yeah, previously, if I've... Oh, let's just get out of here. If I've streamed a game on a couple of occasions, it's usually a pretty good seal of approval for me that it's a good game. However, as I said, I've been gifted a key for a game, and I mean, I won't mention the game. You'll see me stream it soon, and I'd like to be positive about all things in VR because, you know, I like it. But I also don't want to give anybody the wrong impression. So I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. And yes, I know, honesty is the best policy, but I like getting free stuff. So don't get me wrong, I'm not like, you know, ready to sell out at the drop of a hat, but yeah, we'll see. The game, like, in my opinion, the game has... Well, you might be able to guess what the game is. The game has recently left the App Store, and come onto the marketplace, having been in development for quite some time, I don't think it was ready to leave the App Store. It is reasonably priced for what you're getting, but ultimately what you're getting is a sandbox game. Now, I had some laughs out of it whilst I was learning the controls and getting used to it and finding out about the content of it and everything, but I don't know, it feels like it needs to go back in. I don't think it's ready yet, but I don't know. I haven't decided how I'm going to play it yet. Part of me just wants to go on live stream, show it off and destroy it live. I think that would be amusing. There are some good things, but there are plenty of bad things. But yeah. No, not Tabor. Not Tabor. Tabor's very good. Tabor is janky as fuck, but Tabor is very good. Not Tabor. I already own Tabor. Go fish. Not Michael. There we go. There's our Cataclysm, and we're going to strike it just down there. So if you are a horizontal bow user, you'll just have to cant it up a little bit for me, because we want to put it right there to get all of those. And then as they get close, then we run. Hang on a second. That did not come out very well, whatever you just said then, Von. Hang on. It sounded like Edot Oh, right, it was Edot. Player versus player. Well, the game that I'm talking about isn't PvP, no. Right. Divine Sights go in the ground. Or the nearest wall. Hands of God. You can actually cup Asmodus with the Hand of God to put him into slow motion. He goes into slow motion. His rocks do not. Just remember that. See if we can hit that foil. There we go. That can go in the ground also. That one we're going to save. And then we move away. Bear in mind, this is another reason why you have 100% completion, or at least this achievement set. There is an achievement set that increases the delay that those have before they explode when they get close to you. Right, let's see if we can kill him, and then these will sneak back. Nope, they'll just all explode where they were. Brilliant. Lovely. That's not the greatest of arrows for here. That's better. And then we hide round here. Wait for the archers to come into our field of view. And if these guys want to, that's ideal. Come on. Oh, they're not going to do it. Ah, well, let's get into here then. Force the issue. Winters for you. Wildfire for you. Incursion for you. All of those are about to explode in a minute, as is that. So we need to wait for that to happen. Look at this. Jean-Claude Van Damme right there with the old double kick. That's why you wait for the effects to pop before you fire more. Get one into him. That into those to stagger them. Oh no, killed them. Lovely. Kill you. And then finish you up. Now, this is one of the things that we're going to have to start being careful with. Is that there is a real possibility of us not being able to put enough damage. Oh, there is shoulder! That should do it, though. There is a real... That's going to cost us. There is a real possibility of not being able to do enough damage to those in this mode if they get too far away before the lava comes up. One of the things that you can do is put your back to a wall or one of these pillars and face away from that incubi to make him teleport into your view, because that's how enemies are programmed to respond to the player. As far as the teleporting ones are concerned, nearly all enemies, with the exception of some skeleton archers, always teleport into the player's field of view. Very nice tip with slow here. Elaborate, TTT. Sorry, I'm a bit lost there. Unless you're further back in the stream, I don't know. Oh, cupping. Cupping. Hello, Laurent. Nope, sorry, I know what you were talking about now, T. You're talking about cupping Asmodus with a hand of God. What a great idea, huh? So, that's exactly the arrow that we want. Let's get cycling. That's the next arrow that we want. That goes in there. Cycle, 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 because I knew that was going to probably be enough to kill. Can fire that over that shoulder, and they might home in and do that. Hello, Op. Cupping with the hand of God, no less. Cup Asmodus with the hand of God. It's all about the names of the arrows, nothing else. I do wish they'd called it the hand of the gods. Stop so many issues. Right, let's get you. Ah! I hate this game sometimes. I hate this mode all the times. Right, let's get these guys tidied up. Probably going to have to leave the incubi because I haven't dealt with him quickly enough. Wildfire, let's cycle that. Ugh, that's a bad one. Let's get close. Put them there. That is a bad one, but it shouldn't kill anything. That's not bad. We can put that in your face. You have the lightning, and then let's put all of these into this guy's face so that they don't go off anywhere else and kill any of these other enemies. And then let's put some more on you. Keep those... Gotta keep these guys away from those lightning balls whilst they are finishing up, because we don't want them to kill any of these guys. Curse of God, that should attach to you. Divine Sight. Pestilence, we'll go and cycle that over there. And we're just going to basically have to leave that incubi now and watch out for his fireballs. And we cycle, cycle. That's a good one. Wait for him to throw, and then keep looking at the horns or in his general direction when you fire these homing arrows to make sure they hit the target. If I now look over here, they'll start homing towards those things because they're in my gaze. See? That was potentially bad. Uh-oh. Let's hope that example didn't get me killed. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? There we go. So note how all of these guys spawned in there. I did not do that on purpose, but it was because I fired the homing arrow at a valid target and then looked at another, which will change the direction of the homing target. It's not a hard and fast rule. Usually homing shots will go after the nearest target. 1, 1. Of course it's 1, 1, 1. Bloody game. Yeah, even I'm not. The one thing that I was going to say, the one thing I will say, Kieran, if you were on the stream, probably here, I think it is around here, might be pointing right, I don't know. There's actually the live symbol. If that's not red, you are not up to press with the stream. It's like fallen behind or lagged out a little bit or something like that. If you press that, it'll put you to what is live if you are a little bit behind. So, might be the case or might not be. It might be like, I don't usually have much of a stream delay because I was ignoring it. I was ignoring the compliment, Von. Yeah, I usually try to have as little stream delay as possible because when you guys are asking questions and chatting, I like to respond in as close to real time as possible. So, and I don't have to like worry about being stream sniped. So there is that. But yeah, cool, dude. Thank you. It's as I said though, Kieran. It's a practiced skill, and it's basically using slow time so you can accommodate and know what arrows are kind of like in the stack or going in or about to pop off. Like, for instance, I've got to remember, and I do have memory issues, it is well documented, that that's about to explode because he's in proximity. I've got time to maybe put one more arrow in before that would explode. You've got to be careful with these things. Now, volley 5. This arrow is not meant for you. You can go now, but the incursion exploded. Oh, you were supposed to slip off. There we go. There we go. Right. So that's the arrow that we want. Again, we're going to have to... Right, this is a better level for me to show the cherry biting technique on the orphan. Or what I like to call... I don't know. Has somebody got a better terminology? I'll show you what it is, and then someone can come up with a better terminology, because I feel taking multiple bites of the orphan's cherry is not the greatest of technique names. So maybe we need something new. But basically what it is, I know that this arrow cannot do KO damage to an orphan. We can't kill her in one shot. Even with what is the most powerful headshotting weapon or special arrow that we can get within Fletcher. I mean, it's the most heavy-hitting, close-range, multi-arrow, special arrow within the game that does the most damage. Now, she's going to be in... So we know where the pit is. We are going to probably have to clear that side out and go backwards. Let's go down here and see if she's in here first. Yes, she is. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hit her with that. We've actually got a... We'll hit her with that as well. And for the purposes of the demonstration, hopefully I don't get hit, we're going to leave now. And we're going to go back the way we came. And providing we stop hearing her laughter, she has despawned. Now, you'll note that she was on a sliver of life when that would have happened. Let's go a bit further back and despawn that knight as well. He's probably coming, and we could do with him for cycling our arrows. But the orphan is now on a sliver of health. She will be out of position. Only cycle 6, I think. She will be out of position. That monk should wander back to where he was originally. Cheers, mate. Thanks for coming out. See you later. He's literally walking all the way back. The one thing that I will say, you're quite right, Al, bloody younger generation, coming in here, expecting it all to be handed on a plate and be easy and not having to commit time and effort. Bloody youngsters. The thing is, though, it's not too far from the truth. I do think you have to have a certain level of maturity, at the very least, to play a game of this difficulty level. It's fucking hard. It really is. And I'm not saying that because I make it... I mean, I've put enough hours in that I should be able to make the early cycles look easy, but... It is a bloody hard game. It's what got me hooked. But these days, I don't know. I mean, look at what they did to Dark Souls now with Elden Ring. Even I haven't bothered playing that yet, and part and parcel is, I don't want to do Dark Souls again. But another part of it is, well, it looks a bit easier than other Dark Souls. There's too many things, too many caveats. And the open worldness, don't get me started on it. Anyway, so we are going to have a second bite of this orphan's cherry. Now, let's say I only did about half damage to her. And I kind of saw what direction she was running before she teleported away. So she won't respawn back to where she spawns. She will have moved a little bit. So we're going to have to accommodate that for when we teleport in. Now, what would be a good idea is if we freeze this guy... We could actually cycle some arrows on his shield. Cat 5 will probably... Cat 5 is not a good one, but Cat 5 will probably be enough. If I also put Cat 5 into this cat, there is the possibility that it'll explode, so we won't get much more out of him. So let's try that. So note how we done a lot of damage to the orphan. And now we can hear her laughing again, which means she is back and ready to be blasted once more. So let's try and teleport. She went from there. I reckon she went this way. So let's cut her off at the pass, as it were. Nope, she went the complete opposite way to where I was saying. Crap. Stop there, please. Thanks very much. Note how she was at 1/3 health as well. And the reason being is because we'd put her there. And that's good. Remember that explosion's going to go off any second, so let's not shoot anything. And they blow. You can hold that for me. No more explosions around here. Let's put that in his head. And a volley. Now, the reason why I'm clearing out this little corridor is this is the lesser of two Weebles. Yes, that's right. I said Weebles. And what we're going to do here is there isn't really a good place for us to teleport into this pit. So we're going to kind of have to clear the immediate area. Just make sure we've got a nice line to the ghosts that are inevitably going to be coming in, and staying away from that guy as well. He should teleport in unless he loses interest. There he is. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's not too bad. Lovely. Now, I could teleport in from there, because all we need is a little bit. Let's see if there's a better place for that. Because technically, yeah, that's why I do it this way. I thought I might have forgotten. I think, like, yeah, so you could, instead of dealing with all of the things in there, sit here and try and make the shot from there. It's not a risky shot by any stretch of the imagination. If you miss, you just teleport out as quickly as possible. If you go too high, you'll end up on the battlements, which is reasonably safe anyway. Too low, and you just have to scarper quick. The problem with teleporting in from here, without dealing with all the enemies, is a lot of the enemies will see you from here, and so they'll be alerted, and so it kind of defeats the object. So you might as well just come in, deal with them, and get a bit closer, and make your teleport shot in a bit easier. Now, it doesn't matter that we've alerted the ghosts. They will basically now despawn, and they're good. Now, I do want to be taking this, unless I hear the orphan immediately, as slowly as possible. I would love to kill that skeleton archer with these. That's great. Now, curses can cause issues on these levels, because they can have the undesired side effect of alerting enemies that we don't want to. Because that curse is now going to spread. It's hit a skeleton archer, which has brought him in on us, which isn't all that bad. Good way to clear. Let's let the effects kill him before we do anything more. Note how the curse disappeared there as well. Reason being, last effect stacked. We'll let him die to the ice. Last effect stacked presides. So if I hit something with wildfire and then hit it with curse, the curse tick damage will replace the wildfire. The wildfire will replace curse if I did it the other way around. And that's worth knowing as well. I didn't really want the curse spreading because it could hit the orphan. She might be up there. We can't hear her yet though, so it's unlikely. So we're in cycle 6, so we take 3 points of damage per time we get tapped here. So we want to be playing this very gingerly. Having said that, we've just got a Hand of God, and Hands of Gods are incredibly useful with these enemies at these higher cycles that are getting awful fast. They're very good for dealing with them. They're also incredibly good for dealing with ghosts. Hand of God, very powerful arrow. Again, for those people that don't like to do the 100% thing and haven't unlocked Hand of God, You're seriously doing yourself out of an amazing arrow. And an arrow that is indeed part of the meta. We're going to let you blow up. An arrow that is indeed part of the meta. In that you need you don't need Hand of God, but it is definitely one of the arrows, one of the very powerful arrows within the game that just makes getting further easier. So it's basically Winter's Bite is the God arrow, and which is a bit strange really, because it's one of the most common as muck arrows, yet it's probably the best arrow in the game on both damage and utility. Hello Melissa, how we doing? Oh, the other one, the other thing that I have to mention as well. So I was saying about a certain game that I'm going to be streaming soon, and yeah, whether I'll say it in the stream or not, I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave a comment and say, yeah, I might have been positive about this game, but I like being positive about games. Don't get this game. Or, like, strongly consider whether you get it or not. I'm talking about a different game, not this game. Get this game. I was planning on doing something a little bit different on possibly every other Saturday. Now, for those of you who tune in quite regularly, I was potentially looking at getting Oregon Trail, which is a very cool and very funny game, and I've actually got, hopefully, in touch with the devs, and they might be sending me a key. Long story short, Oregon Trail is a game where you have a group of travelers and they're going from A to B along the trail, as it were, and nasty and horrible shit happen to them, and they do nasty and horrible shit to each other. But it's all kind of like player controlled and player choice. The crux of all of this is I can rename all the members of the party to you lovely people that are in chat, and I think it could be quite funny. It'll keep me amused during a live stream no end. So maybe, providing things come off, I might have that ready for this Saturday. We shall see. We are going to carry on doing the whole Dungeons of Eternity with you lot, but I might be changing it up a little bit, so it might not be quite as regular. Unless, of course, they drop all that massive end-game content. We shall see. Now, part of the reason why I was waiting back here is because I wanted him to spawn there. Well done, Melissa. I wanted him to spawn here because it's a nice, easy place to deal with him without having to worry about much else. Ugh. Miss. And if I can make it easy, happy days. So yeah, that Winter's Bite will have been overwritten by the wildfire that is in his eye. Let's let the burn finish before we do any more damage. Just in case. There we go. Barrage of needles for the finish. A great arrow. Now, that spot seems to be one of the few in the game where... Ooh. Hello, Sarah. Oh, welcome back, Sarah. I hear an orphan. Now, with the orphan where she is at the moment... thought you might be coming in. We might be able to do the old orphan cherry biting technique. God, that's dark. A little bit of light on the situation. No. It's only 1 damage for a miss, which is fine. It's getting hit is the big killer within this mode. One more Hand of God. Let the explosions go off. Lovely. Now, we might be able to get a bite out of her. It depends on which way she runs and how deep. Because the pits are not as bigger levels, it is very difficult to put distance between you and the orphan enough to make her despawn. So ideally, we want to be going in on a kill mission as opposed to a we'll do some damage to her and then do some more damage later, because it's risky. There's a possibility that we'll lose her, and the whole point of this technique is to make sure that you get every orphan. Let's see if we can get... What I'm going to do with that last incubi is get him here and cycle through arrows to try and get something that's hopefully capable of doing a lot of damage to the orphan. At this point, Hand of God starts to become quite a preferable arrow for dealing with an orphan. Hello, Kim. I was just saying, I was saying earlier to everybody how I saw you playing Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu on your little channel there. Has the multiplayer, is the multiplayer the full multiplayer that the test multiplayer is? Is it actually 8 players? Because if it is, that needs to be organised. I want to fight everyone in chat that's willing, and I want all of you against me. And see how I do. I think it'll be a fair fight. On you lot. Stamina. Okay. I mean, I know the multiplayer is 4-player cooperative, 4-player at the moment, and you can play it cooperatively. Ah, excellent. Ah, yes, but I haven't shown you any of my super secret karate techniques, because although it is Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu, my karate does work in there very nicely. So, did I mention to this incubi that I was smoking / drinking / not paying attention? I don't know if I did. Let's just give it another minute. I'd really like the incubi to come in here. The other place that they can teleport to is here, if you look there. If you look over here, they're more likely to lock onto that location. So, let's have another quick smoke. Look over in this direction. The one thing that I will say as well, they will always teleport eventually. But, I get impatient, and B, it's not a very good stream for me to just be looking at a fucking dungeon door now, is it? Come on, I'm smoking! Ugh, he's not coming. Right, one last drink and then we'll go and do something a little different. As I said, I've spent, on higher cycles, I've spent, no joke, 15 minutes waiting for him to teleport into that spot. They always do. Always. But... No, normally when I say I'm smoking... Normally when I'm smoking, they come straight in. Right. I think... Let's try and work out where this orphan is. I think she's there. Let's try and cycle... Well, this is dangerous. You shouldn't try and cycle arrows on ghosts, for that very reason that I almost took a hit there doing it. Cupid's Wrath ×3 isn't that bad, because it's an explosive arrow, and it'll... If you fire it down into the orphans, at the orphan's feet, it makes them bounce up, which isn't that bad a thing. Where are you going? You took the long way around, didn't you dickhead? Right, let's see if we can cycle better arrows with you. No. Ball lightning is not going to cut it. Thanks, Vaughn. You know what? I'll change it. In your honour of leaving us, I will change it now. Thank you very much, Vaughn. See you later. Good night. Let's pop that one in there. That one can go in there. Right. It's not a good arrow. I also don't want to cross because there's the potential that I will alert the orphan. Is there any more enemies that I can drag down? Let's try and maybe deal with some of these up here. If she is indeed there, which I think she is. Right, hold that for me. Oh, that would have been better. Oof. That's better. Right, you wait here. I'll go get help. Tap, 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 tap. Shoot. Move. Tap, tap, tap. She's going that way. Good. And we'll chase her this way as well. I'll take you out as I leave. Come on. Come on. Don't fire multiple shots into the orphan in quick succession in this mode. They will pass through her. Ha-ha! Bye! And we leave. Oh, no, I'll take these guys whilst they're in the Hand of God bubble. Thanks very much. Ooh. Why'd you have to be there? I was going to take these ghosts out real easy without you. Let's try and deal with you first, then. That wasn't a very good teleport, was it? You fucking bony bastard idiot. Alright, let's go back. Try and get those ghosts. Careful of the fireball. These ghosts are reasonably easy takes. So I want to get them whilst they are easy kills within this Hand of God bubble. Oh, and I want to use that to... Is that guy still there? Where's he gone? Always be wary of a skeleton that was there and then is no longer there. Might have teleported up the top. Let's check. Right. Mission accomplished. Calm. Chill boots. So I would like to go into Anakin with close to full health if I can. Bear in mind we are taking 3 damage per hit at the moment. Right, I'm going to bypass those and get the skeleton archers first. Hold that for me. You have this. That goes there. Happy days. And move. And then we'll go back in. I hate blocking in this game. I really do. Because it's so incom-bloody-sistent. Let's get these guys. No, let's get the skeleton archer first. Nice to see you. You can have that. This for me. And... I hate this game! I was even concentrating really hard then. But yeah, even the most simple... This is why I've tried to, and even then, I still fail all the time at it. Even the most simple shot can be a miss, and there's all sorts of factors that go into it. And we could do without them. That's not the greatest of place for you to be. Nice. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we're going to at least get 2 of those back at the end, which is nice, providing we don't lose any more. Let's get nice and close. When you're this close, as long as you space your shots, as in wait, and keep track of what you've got in him. This is kind of an opportunity to make points, but as I said, I'm not headshotting him for points. I'm headshotting him for the damage. Note as well, this is something of note, he's getting a bit jaunty, isn't he? A little bit of a jaunty angle going on there. When you Hand of God an incubi and hit him repeatedly in the head, not only does it knock him backwards, but it slowly rotates him to the left. I have had him, horizontal. That was close. Again, another one of my... Bastard! Ah! I have no idea where that ghost came from. Oh well, that changes things. Ugh. Let's, so, two enemy hits or 4 misses and we're dead. Ghosts. You gotta love them. I have no idea where that ghost came from, I really don't. But let's, so what I'm doing here is visually alerting enemies, letting them come into me, taking them out in minimum numbers to make my life easier. If you could turn, that would be great. Thanks, we didn't need to see that. It's supposed to be a family-friendly channel. I'm not doing this on purpose. Well, maybe I'm a little bit. Oh, lovely. Excellent. I'd like that exit now, please. So we'll walk forward. Don't want to see anything to the left and right, because they're probably going to be skeleton archers there. I'd rather take one ghost out at a time than risk skeleton archers at this dangerous stage of the game. It's one of the other things that I will note as well. Normally when I do this, I will play this in a single sitting. I'll probably be going a bit faster than this as well. So I can usually have my run done in a good afternoon. And that is one of the things that I like, but part of the problem of streaming it is I'm out of practice. I haven't been playing for a little while, so, you know. As I have always maintained, we come rough and ready with all kinds of excuses on this channel. This is, forgot about the peanuts and tit shields. These are all family. It's all family-friendly fun, Kim. Bloody skeleton archers. Think they're all that. Are you? Yeah. Uh-oh. You need that. Thanks for playing. That's not ideal. Hold this for me. Uh-oh. That's ghosts! Fuck! See, I heard him that time. Right. Not risking it. Not risking it. Golden spunk is emanating from my groin. I'm leaving. Family friendly. Family friendly golden spunk is emanating from my groin. I'm leaving. There you go. How's that? And time to go. Thanks, Pillar. Whew, that was stressful. On the excuse note as well. Well, you know how I'm always saying, like, oh yeah, all the tournaments I've done, never really injured myself. You know, I've had a bit of strain there. Proper put my shoulder out playing fucking underdogs too much. I can't help myself. I found it really difficult to put that one down. Just one more run. Just one more run. Just one more run. It's really good. Right. Winter's Bite ×3. That's risky, but I think that's a risk that I've got to be willing to take right now. Because there's a... Winter's Bite times 3 isn't too bad, because even if I've basically got 3 chances to hit. Winter's Bite times 1, if you are confident of hitting your shots, is a good one. Right. Got to wait for that turn and then fire. Problem is, at this range, Winter's Bite 3 is just as good as Winter's Bite 1. So, let's nail him. Lovely. And you can have another one on me. Excellent. Now, that should proc off both waves. That should kill him. Oh, that for me. You can have that one. Let's kill you first. So this is me being super, super serious on this technique now, you guys. Uh-oh. Six. Making a right meal of it. Right. This is ideal. This is what we want. We've killed the 2 archers here and the 3 archers here. We now want Anakim in this corner. If I can shoot... I didn't get it in him. We want Anakim in that corner now. And ideally, we want to start putting damage on him now. If all the stuff spawns behind us, that's great. Doesn't matter at this point. Oh, you fucking shit. Hello. I saw one there, which is possibly going to bite us in the arse. Need to fire that. Oh, brilliant. Right through his fucking armpit. And let him have it. So that's the one that we saw. Shouldn't be any more. Hopefully. Hopefully that guy isn't going to hit me. He is behind me, but I can't turn. If I turn, he will definitely hit me. And if I turn, all of his buddies behind him will get me. These need to be headshots. Got to move back a little bit. Oh, he's died. That's good. And move. One hit and dead. I do it to get the adrenaline pumping for you, like that's all it is. But again, so that was more like it. So how many? Oh, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we went from 3 to 9. That means we got a double on each one of those. See, it's because of that ghost that snuck up on me without any bloody sound. Game's paying it back a little bit. Got a problem with that, Melissa? Something to say? Why wouldn't... my answer to you would be, if you can do it well, and you're allowed to do it infinitely, why not? I mean, I'm all for this whole bullshit, with great power comes great responsibility, but I'll tell you now, if I was Spider-Man, I'd be using my webs for all sorts of shit that you shouldn't be. And, like, you know, if I was Neo, I'd be constantly in bullet time if there was no, you know, no downside to it. If I was Superman, I'd be making use of flight all the time and all that super strength to get, you know, jars of pickles open and various bits and pieces like that, you know. There's world issues to be solved, but there's also real life things also. It's the greatest thing within your arsenal is slow time. If you started this game today, the first thing to practice, and will always hold you in good stead regardless of game mode, except purist, and cycle is slow time. Oh, that's a bad miss. Hello, Momity. It requires quite the level of dexterity, but once you get it down, you can. It's then a skill that you can practice. As I said, I'm like almost constantly. You see me tapping it as well. Not only do I hold it, fuck off. That arrow is not meant for you. I know, right? Yeah, but it might be a particularly tight can of pickles, Laurent. Did you ever think of that? Where's the fucking orphan? She's in there, I bet. Nope, I heard her. I can hear her. She might have seen us. We might lose that one. Paradise Lost is one of the few levels that I allow myself to not go after the orphan because there are some fucking nasty places that you have to go after her on. This is one of them. Oh, that curse is doing the rounds. And it's got a witch. Banshee, rather. Right. So, that one is in a particularly nasty place. That's a good place to start. I mean, I've been looking for a reason to do a bigger video like I used to do on IDU, and I suppose slow time in depth is something that I haven't covered. So maybe... actually, no. Fuck you. We'll use this on the orphan. Because the problem with this... Oh, no, it's the good one! It's the good one! She's all by her fucking self! No! That hit you in the face! What even is this game sometimes? I mean, really. That's what I was talking about the Cupid's Wrath. Shooting it into the floor. You kind of get that pull effect. Pull! On the orphan. Would you like to bounce again, little orphan? Doesn't happen on the times one variety. Right, orphan done. Time for this cat to bounce. Yeah. I can't. The thing is, if you are going to play this the way that as I've said before, and as you know, Al, if you are going to play this the way that I've chosen to play it, I have to make sure I get every orphan. Otherwise, there's no point. You're not getting enough points. That doesn't mean that, like, if you guys are going to try and copy or emulate this, that you and you should, doesn't mean that you need to either. Just being able to go through first 2 or 3 cycles and being able to get the orphan, like, I don't know, even 50% of the time would get you a great score. Probably get you into the top 50, I would imagine. And again, the reason being is because this mode is very difficult. It's a difficult enough game already. And with, like, bullshit like fucking arrow pass through and I don't know, ghosts that have no sound cues and all this bollocks, it's makes it even harder. Although the double life from each of the Blood of the Lambs was really good, so can't complain too much. Let's get this cat finished up quick. I hate Holy Light. Curse of God. We don't stick in with the Curse of God until that Winter's Bite has finished doing its thing, because the Curse of God tick damage will replace that 900 odd damage that the Winter's Bite is ticking for. That was risky. I shouldn't have done that. I'll happily replace Curse with Winter's Bite, though, because that's only 140. Does last longer, though. But I'd much rather that. That's like 500 a tick now. 2, 3. The easiest way to do this is to practice it. Go on to cycle 1 and just practice. The way to lose control of him is letting him go too far one side or the other. So if I can do that by keeping the pillar here and moving back. He tries to stay in the center of my vision and there's nothing for him to do over here. When he starts getting that far, you're in danger territory. You need to bring him back. But just practice doing this. Move him from one side and just kind of trust the process that he is coming round to the other. One side to the other. And literally all I'm doing is keeping at least some of the pillar in my view at all times and looking. And that's the way to do it. Hey, it depends on what you're playing the game for. You need to be getting orphans if you're playing for points. They are a big hitter. But even at late cycles, at much later cycles, when orphans are almost not worth chasing at all, and not because they're difficult, but because they're not worth the points for the risk. Like, you know, even 63,500 points for an orphan. Like, when you get to... It's been a while now, but I'd imagine when you start getting to the likes of cycle... Ooh, lovely. Yeah, all headshots. When you start getting to the likes of cycle 10 and beyond, incubi are probably the most valuable thing, points-wise, down in a pit. Because if you can get them at long range, because of their massive health pools and all those juicy headshots that you can get. That's the fireball that I specifically put my shield up for. But remember, you need to have the shield pushed right out in front of you, because those fireballs explode, and that explosion can hit your damage box, which I think, or damage sheet, as I always refer to it as, which we have talked about in the past. Hell, even Gabriel, if you do him correctly, is probably worth those huge cycles, worth more than an orphan points wise. Careful with these arrows now. Hail of arrows. I shouldn't take that shot. I've got 3 chances to hit it, but I shouldn't, because I'm just asking to lose life there. Hello. Don't start, alright? You're almost dead. Need you to be diving at me, not fireballing. But yeah, keeping him in the background, hand of godding him, and then continually headshotting him can make you a hell of a lot of points. Hell of a lot of points on those high cycles. A lot of the time I don't do it because it fucking destroys your arm at those huge cycles. Hey, look. It's like there was never any problems during this stream at all. Yeah, there you go. Laurent would know. Yeah, and he's always going to be worth more on the crossbow because you're doing less damage to him at the distances where you're scoring well, as Laurent will tell you. Right then. Let's get this pit done. Let's get Asmo done. And then we'll probably call it a night. But that should get me... Well, I don't know. Should be on for 1,800 points, yeah. Something like it. 1,800. 1.8 million. As I said, you know, first time out especially as well. This is the way that I am playing this game. I've practiced at. You need to practice at. I'm still uncertain with various things that I might need to start doing. As far as... Because I still don't think I've got the best... I've got a good technique for old Annie Bobs, but I don't think it's the best technique. I think there's something better that I could be doing, but I need to have a think about it now that I'm in the depths of it, because it's going to start getting harder. Let's get down there. Oh, good. Now, you are potentially a cherry-biteable orphan. Thanks for the pass-through. Cheers! What was that from? I'm out. Come on. Whenever you're ready. And go. Didn't like that situation. Don't have a very good arrow for dealing the rest of the damage. Let's try and get a decent one here. I also didn't like taking that hit either. Oof, that was risky. Right, Winter's Bite might do it. That's not going to. 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 Those are not. That'll do the job. Cool. So note how her laughing stopped. Even if you hear the teleport noise, that's sometimes okay. As a general rule, travel as far away as possible and towards as big a group as enemies as you can until you can't hear her anymore. More again, it's something to practice. Where did she go? She went over there, didn't she? How much life have you got left? Not much. Bam! Nice flip. 10. And go. Don't mind, again, taking a little stray hit, but we do not... Well, actually I do, because it means I'm getting a bit lazy. Or putting myself in two riskier situations. Or, heaven forbid I say it, not slow timing enough. Right. Let's cycle some arrows. Let's get... Well, you're isolated, so let's get you out of the way first. Now, if I was a portal, where would I be? I reckon I might be over there. Okay, we'll go round. There it is. We're gonna... Well, that's a good arrow to deal with those with. But they have been alerted and spotted us. So we're going to need to deal with at least that last Cupid. It shouldn't happen, but I've had it a few times where I've teleported. I would teleport into that now. And because a Cupid has been alerted, they seem to be one of the enemies that don't abide by this rule. Like doing this is... those ones shouldn't be too bad. Let's get in there. Right, now, I don't... Did I... Yeah, good. Good old easy despair. Like a bit of despair we do. Right, let's... Oh, you... Best archer ever. Can go... As I said, I mean, I haven't even been missing... Fletchers can go to shit so easily. Bullshit turn, that was. Again, not using slow time enough. It's my own fault. Ooh, ×5. That might do the job. Right, let's go and see where that orphan is. Lovely. Yep. Easier, anyway. So, fuck! Oh. Fucking shard! When it rains, it pours. Thankfully... That's something of note, I suppose, it's worth noting. Regardless of cycle, damage, and all that nasty stuff, lava hits are always 1. Worth knowing. Good point, well made there, I thought. You know, risked a little bit of the run to show you guys off that, but, you know, that's what I do for chat. That's what I do. I went to pull back to shard backwards and it went forwards. I hate shards. Hate shards. Excellent news, Melissa. Excellent news. Right. We missed a couple of enemies back here. So again, with the techniques that I have... Why does it have to be a Cupid? Why does it have to be Cataclysm? With the techniques that I've mentioned for doing pits, you need... The pits in Abyss work a little bit different to the pits in Purgatory. You still need to kill a certain amount of enemies to activate the end. The difference in Abyss is you need to kill a certain amount of enemies to knock the incubi out of its stone form. Killing the incubi will then allow you to exit the level. We are here to exit the level at this point. I do want to kill him because it will make a difference. It's only one enemy, I know, but it's one less enemy that we have to do in the dangerous room. Oh, come on, you prick. Any other... If I wasn't streaming, you would be teleporting down here now. Let's move back a bit, give him a bit of space to teleport into. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, I'm starting to vape now. Starting to vape now. See? Every fucking time. Every time. Actually vape now. I'll save my drink from when we're trying to lure the incubi in just a moment. Right. Honestly, the moment that I say it out loud, it's like the microphone hears it. Translates these things to the enemies of the game. That's a good shot. Lots of nasty arrows. This is a great place to put all of your nasty arrows. Just be aware of the effects. And like them stacking up and killing all of the things and the stuff. That's most of the enemies down here. There's a decent amount. Oh, let's try to lure these ones in. There he is. Lovely. Fucking hell. Two hits and dipping my toe in the lava. Stupid boy. Right, you as well. Those cupids are a problem. I'm not going to fire arrows into there because I don't want to risk missing because that will lose us life. But I also don't want to alert everything and it all to come teleporting in on me at the same time. So if I can just look at one enemy at a time, draw one enemy towards me with a teleport, kill one enemy at a time, I'll do it. You better believe I'll do it. This is not a bad arrow because this might alert. It may kill some things as well. It may alert a few. Are you going to make it past the lava? Are you going to get stuck? No, you going in. Any danger? No? Ink. The arrow selection that you have as well also justifies these choices. Like, I want to get rid of this incursion. I do not want to be shooting it at range. I will happily shoot it into a cupid that's right on top of me, because that's an easy shot. I'm drinking water now. You're a prick. I don't think he's alerted. Yeah, he's definitely alerted now. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Come on. You're not even the right one. You, man. I want you. Ugh. There we go. Right, that should be all of the cupids dealt with, or the vast majority. Now what we're going to attempt to do is go up one side of here. In fact, if we've got all of the cupids, these would be easier shots. But what I find is if you go into this main courtyard... So remember, we're just killing enough to get the incubi to spawn in, and then we're going to kill that and then get the fuck out of here. By going into that middle room, you can expose yourself to a lot of nasty shit, because there's usually lots of cupids and flaming skulls in that middle room. But there's also these guys. These guys. Oh god, you're all coming. Oh, good explosion. Yep, you're in. Cool, right. That's done enough to activate said incubi. We will have to deal. Correct. Yeah, that's well done. And that's why I came up with this way of doing things. They're like, you know, don't get me wrong, I miss all the time on this game. I don't think I'm known for my accuracy. I'm known for my speed. Damn accuracy. If there was an accuracy stat in this game, maybe my accuracy would be better. I'll leave accuracy to the likes of Beanie. Although, you know, I can hit my shots in Siege of Heaven when the stars align. Bit out of practice, mind. But there's a lot of factors. Like, I still don't think, even though I think the Quest 3 is better for tracking than the Quest 2, my ever humble opinion, I still don't think tracking is good enough for this sort of game. There's too many things, too many little tweaks, too many little moments that, like, really fuck you up as a player. And, you know, the more you play the game, the more you get into it, the more you learn to mitigate those things, or the better you get at the game so you can accommodate for that. But it's still fucking annoying when the arrows don't go where you want them to go. Ugh. Ugh. Right, so, yes, there were enemies there. Yes, it could have been a lot of headshots. As Alan has quite rightly pointed out, I ain't fucking risking that. One life, because I fucked up a shot or something moved at the last second, for one lot of headshot points, which will probably be about 300 points. Nah. I'll risk my headshots. Fucking hell. Yeah, we did. Yeah, because we took a bite of that orphan, didn't we? Almost forgotten whether I'd taken the orphan out or not, because memory issues. Right. That was very close, yes. As said, in this mode, it doesn't matter because we're not dealing with holy armors. And as I said, regardless, there was a time when you used to dip a toe in lava, it would take off the amount of damage based on the cycle, I think. But that was a very long time ago, or it might not have been the case. I can't remember. I don't know if anyone actually ever tested it in the early days. But I get the feeling that it was changed because it was bollocks and completely unfair that you could just, like, accidentally step into or teleport into the stuff. And, but, you know, it's fine that it only takes 1 point of damage from you and not the cycle damage. What's fucking annoying is when you lose a chunk of holy armor to lava. That's just, ugh, so horrible a feeling. Especially if you are at a high cycle. Because, you know, it's almost like, fuck's sake, the next hit that I take, that armor would have, like, you know, got rid of all of it. Yeah, I mean, it's something that I will look into. I get... What I have is good enough, and I shouldn't really complain, because it is pretty good, tracking-wise. Oh, perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, arrow gods. Or gods of the arrows. Ah! Missed one. Let them get close and move. And keep moving as well. I've seen a lot of people say, like, oh, you need to have your shield out. I think Rico said it previously as well, that you need to, like, touch them with your shield. You don't even need that. You just need them to get close enough. That goes in the ground. That will too. You just need them to get close enough to begin their detonation. And then run away. You don't need to put your shield out or anything. It's not a bad technique to do it, but just know that you don't need to. Alright, what could we get here? That should pop the boil. Zap. And then let these get close and shard away. preferred a better arrow for this bit, but never mind. Should be able to get back up to something like it health-wise here. Famous last words. Right. Yeah. Gotta get rid of those cupids quick. They are nasty. Good. Good. Bad. Worse. Ooh, good. And retreat. Back into my safe space. Reason why this is a great place to sit is if you sit here right, the abominations won't come towards you. Happy for him to come towards me now. Yeah, bad timing. Good timing. That was needed. Let's put some headshots on you, and that one there. That curse will finish him off. That one. Forgot about that explosion, let me tell you. Right, so he's quite far away, and that incursion, I'd have to aim so far off to hit him that I don't want to. So I'm going to put my back to him, with my back to the wall, so that he can't hit me with his fireballs, and look in this direction. Well, hello! They usually teleport pretty quickly in these regards. Now, this is a very useful technique to know in later play of this game. Right now, we want this guy nice and close so that we can kind of isolate him and put lots of effects on him to kill him quickly. In the main game, like, you know, when you get into like cycle 20 plus, it can be very difficult to actually kill him through taking his life away, because this rising lava level catches you up very quick, and it's why the techniques have been developed for being able to dunk the incubi into the lava, because that's an instant kill as opposed to doing much more. And also Duncan uses a lot less arrows as well in the main game. But yeah, I've died plenty of times there at high cycles, not being able to kill an incubi fast enough. Perfect arrows. Didn't doubt you. Oh, perfect. And then we'll pop those there. That can go there. Those can go up there as well. No, they didn't come back down, bastard. No. 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 Yes. And we Vogue. Spam shard, move it across your face. I always go into the rocks as opposed to away from them. I've never been hit doing it that way around. Cycle, cycle, cycle. Try and get something good. Doesn't look like it. There it is. Perfect. Ooh, quick cycle. No, yeah, that's actually not bad. That's not a bad arrow. I always jump to this little platform. I say it every stream, I think. I always jump to this little platform. It's a relatively easy shot to make after you've practiced it. It saves you having to go up the steps and fire multiple teleport arrows and risk not hitting the platform at the right time. This way, if I'm here already, I can get straight up onto this top platform, and I can be here before the enemies spawn. That's what I want. I want the jump on them. I don't want them to have the jump on me. Thank you very much. Ooh. Good. Volley times 5. We'll keep that because I've got a certain target in mind, this arrow is meant for you. So that's him dealt with. We'll now draw all of these enemies as far back as possible. Might do a bit of cycling on this guy whilst we're waiting. No. Ideally want a homing arrow. No. No. There we go. Cupid's Wrath ×3. That'll do us very nicely. Now I draw all of these enemies over to me. Dodge through them. Lovely. Wait for those horns to glow in him to stop making that movement, and then one shot. Hit his rock. Bugger. We've got a bit of time. Hold it right there. And one for you. There you go. 3 Cupid's Wrath ×3, or 3 shots, should be enough to destroy both of those horns. It usually is. What happened there is because he was putting his arm in the way and throwing that rock at me, I didn't wait until he finished that animation. I think one of those, or maybe 2 of those Cupid's Wrath exploded on his hand as opposed to his horns. The other one that you can use as well is Cataclysm ×3 or ×5. Fire it at the brow and it will usually decimate both his horns in one shot. But that is a shot, if you are trying to hit him in the brow of it, that you can miss. Right. Can we bring it back? Yes, we can, with 1 to spare. So, if anybody was wondering what those skulls mean underneath, that notifies me that I'll be taking 4 times the damage. So now, with a life bar of 12 bars, we can only take, from maximum health, 3 hits before we're dead. So, getting serious now. Now, the problem, as I said previously, with me coming off now is when I come back to this game, we'll almost be playing it in like stupid hard mode, and I won't have like had any warm-up or any practice, which could be a problem. But if you can go from cycle 1 to cycle 6, kill every orphan in the pits, kill the denizens of the pits, and move along and do that, you can get to 1.8 million, or just shy of 1.9. That will put you in the top 5 of a leaderboard in the world. Where's Laurent at? There he is, at 2 million. So, we are on average getting about 300,000. If I can go another cycle, we'll be able to get probably in the top 2. And another cycle again, and we should be able to have RB Avenues launch. I think the furthest I've got through doing this technique, and it was before I had a reasonably decent technique for taking Anakim down in Fletcher, I think I managed to get to cycle 8 and complete it, maybe cycle 9, and died on Anakim. So, but for me, like, the whole point of it doing this way is I can knock out a decent score quick, because time is a factor. And on that bombshell, we'll end it there. This has been me doing Orphanihilation on Fletcher, on In Death Unchained, on the Quest 3 Native, and me has been Silver Tongue Devil. Good night.